Hey everybody, this is Perch, and hey Joe, are you drunk yet?
Almost.
Yeah, there you go. I'm
Getting
trying to
there.
mix it up. A better intro there.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's good.
So it feels like we've been talking about this for a year, but the Red Robin continues.
Yeah, not to
Red
be
Robin?
the round robin.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah,
Red
Red
Robin.
Robin is the chain restaurant.
Yeah, there you go. That's where I get my drinks. Yes.
There
No.
you go. You drink in
Yeah,
front of all the kids that are. That's
that's
great.
the way you do it. This is a perfect way to start this video. The round robin. What like this does feel like it's been going on for a year or more, right?
Yeah, there are arbitrary long breaks between these votes.
Why do you think? I mean, so I've been watching the voting, and most of the voting happens in the first day or so. I
Yeah.
mean, it's like why the long voting window? I mean, I'm asking you. I like you're the one responsible. Why the long voting windows and why the breaks? Like, what is trying to be accomplished here? Do you think?
I mean, I feel like maybe the breaks are in part because it seems like they tried for round three to have a page done. So maybe the breaks were kind of to be like, okay, we're going to take a break so the people who made it to this round can do a page, but they're not explaining that.
Yeah.
And it's like, if that's what's happening, you have to make that clear for the voters, because it seems less like that and more like it's just taking everyone a week or month or so to count votes.
Yeah.
And which is very weird. But I don't know. I feel like there's not a lot of fire behind this at this point. There wasn't in the beginning. The amount of votes aren't translating to something that would be great sales wise either.
No, I did notice. It's funny you say that because I noticed the votes seem to be decreasing if you just over time. Like they're meaning there seems to be fewer people interested in round three than there was in round one. Now, granted, round one got a lot of activity with a couple of the categories because people got all excited about. I mean, maybe voting for something else to lose, but it feels like a lot of the momentum here is gone, and now I'm a little bit confused. Like, what is the outcome again? Like, we're shooting for how long is it? Like, it's a limited series, or what are we getting?
Yeah, I think it's a 6-issue miniseries.
Okay, digital first, or
I don't think they were clear on that. I imagine it's got to be digital first.
Yeah, okay. So we're beating around the bush here. The finals to the round robin are in, and it basically is coming down to Robin.
It's the Robin's book and Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad. So kind of a Batman family book and a semi-Batman family book because Harley Quinn is leading the Suicide Squad, I believe.
Yeah, and one of the important things here to keep in mind is both of those won purely from the Instagram votes. They both lost on Twitter. Particularly, Suicide Squad lost. It was like 70-30 on Twitter to Blue Beetle Graduation. The Blue Beetle Graduation got annihilated on Instagram. And then the DC community votes were very low. They were both, I think they were all under 2,000 votes. Instagram's over 100,000 and Twitter's in the 20 to 40,000 range.
Do you think this tells us, because Twitter arguably is easier to share and retweet things quickly than Instagram, sort of. But do you think this tells us a little bit about where the attention is in terms of comics? Like Twitter, so much time gets spent on comics and Twitter, but it feels like you said, Instagram just blew it away.
Yeah.
So maybe this is telling us a little bit of lesson about how powerful or significant Twitter is.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's talked about that, and no one probably will after this video goes up either. But that's a pretty big lesson, is that much more voting happened on Instagram when the voting was also only one day.
On Instagram.
But in 7 days, you got a fraction of the votes on Twitter. Not to mention something you were bringing up earlier with the diminishing returns on the votes. what's happening now completely undercuts the JLQ argument of, oh, we got so, like, more people voted in this category than the other one. So clearly that means people are interested in JLQ. Meanwhile, twice as many people, if not more, voted in the Robbins Green Lantern bout.
Yes.
When Green Lanterns, when it was up against Who Cares in the first round, had significantly less than when it was Robbins JLQ. So, if I mean, correlations, all that. If you're looking at it, it's like the same factor in all of this is people coming to vote for or against Robbins, not something like JLQ or Green Lanterns.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if that message is going to get across to people clearly that because if the comic industry caters to Twitter, I think more than any other social media platform, more than Facebook, certainly more than Instagram.
Sure.
Yet the engagement, just pure engagement on votes does not mean purchasing customers, granted, but the engagement is ridiculously higher on, as we've seen on Instagram here, for one day than it was for a full week period on Twitter. And that there's a little message there for comic companies, I think, of like, maybe don't gear your entire strategy around Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, DC also, I mean, a big part of this is they have almost 3 times as many followers on Instagram.
Yeah, that's also interesting. Yeah.
Like maybe it's time to focus more there.
Maybe. Who knows? Could be that Twitter doesn't matter. That is breaking news. You heard it here first.
Wow.
All right. So what do you think? So between so first of all, do you have a favorite, Robbins or Suicide Squad? Do you have one that you're rooting for?
I guess at this point, probably Robbins, because I like Tim Seeley. He's been in the sandbox before. I can kind of rely on there being something happening that could potentially be interesting. Neither of these would have been my choice. So it's nice that this is reflecting our democracy directly.
What do you have a pick though of which not what you want to win, but what you think is going to win? Do you think it will also go to Robbins?
I think it's going to be Robbins. That Robbins is the thing that seems to, the fact that so many more people came out to vote just when Robbins was up against Green Lanterns, and Green Lanterns didn't have that before, and the people came out for JLQ. It just seems like people are just going to come out to vote for Robbins, and that's just going to be how it is.
Now, when this wraps up and kind of all concludes, and then they have the various kind of media that will surround the winner, I can't help but notice that will correspond sort of close, not exactly, but relatively close to Suicide Squad movie. Is there a conspiracy part of you that makes you think that maybe they give it to Suicide Squad because it's a wonderful lead in to this movie that they're doing, and they get to say, look at all the people excited about this thing that we're already doing somewhere else? Or do you think that plays into it at all?
I think, if anything, what could happen is it'll be like, so many people voted and you're all so excited, we're going to publish both of them.
Yeah, the fans win.
Yeah, the fans win. Exactly. Like that'll be because, it's like, if the people are turning out for Tim Seeley on Robbins, and it's like, give this man more work. He's a solid guy over at DC, and he's played in this sandbox of the Bat books for a while. Give him the damn book. And then, and you do that for Suicide Squad. I could easily see the we'll do both kind of approach.
Which of the books do you think that lost, do you suspect they will come back with in the next year and try and do anyway?
I think there are a couple that were just really solid, like Swamp Thing. If they don't continue Ram V's Swamp Thing after this, and there's still demand for Swamp Thing, I could see them being like, oh, well, let's do that. Zatanna, I think there's a good shot of that. Green Lanterns, I think has a good shot. I think they want to give more work to V. Ken Marion And Cena's in good graces there. He keeps getting these like one shots and other little bits to do with DC. So I think there are people that are going to be there who are going to be like, oh, well, why don't we just give him this? And especially with the TV show.
Yeah.
Like there are certain things like that I think they're going to match up that a lot of these will slowly leak into what we see.
Now, all things considered, the dust settling on this entire process and the round robin and everything else, was this should they do this again? Was this a success? Like, you're like, this is the wave of the future, they should do this every year? Or is this something that they want to bury and never come back to again?
I would say bury and never come back to again. It's been an embarrassment. It's if they do it again, it's got to be completely overhauled. None of this voting everywhere stuff. Vote in one place. Vote in these certain times. Don't do all these rounds. I think someone thought it was like cute, maybe, to do this during. I guess people thought this was cute in like March.
Yep, March Madness kind of.
Yeah, but now it's the end of May.
Yeah.
It's not cute, and people are confused and are like, why is this happening like this? Like, that was a bad call. It was like, if you do it that way, you have to do it just for the month of March and just be like, you vote for one day, and then every Wednesday of the month, you do the vote winner, and do it that way. This was not a good way to do it.
It's interesting. So when this came out, I have to imagine some people at DC are thinking, hey, this is going to be a nice nod to the fans. The fans are going to get involved. We're going to get some good PR out of this. Like, this is something that how could this possibly go wrong? Yet, as I look at some of the response as we've gotten into this, just, latest kind of messages in the last day, I see things like throughout DC Round Robin, we watch titles by women, minority, and LGBTQ creators be trashed for Robins. Round Robin is a gross concept from the get-go, especially to involve marginalized creators and concepts and then demolish them. There is a ridiculous amount of negative comments, including from people in the industry and out of the industry. It is being trashed.
You're in bad shape when you look at there are hundreds of more quote tweets than retweets on the tweet.
Yeah.
There are 392 quote tweets as I read this now, and only 86 retweets. And such quote tweets as, what a total bust, lol.
Yeah.
Let's see, fart noise, cool, never do this again. Kyle Rayner and Jamie Riaz lost to a bunch of white people. I hate it here so fucking much. This is some bullshit. Let's see. The most boring title, which sounds like the books DC would put out anyway, are the last two remaining. We lost. I hate it here.
I have pictures of crying superheroes there.
Yeah. God, let's see.
It's rigged.
Shit's rigged. JLQ deserve better than this crap. DC stands are truly the worst. What the fuck? How the fuck is Robin's here? I'm deactivating. This is such bullshit. The whole contest has been a trash fire. I could keep going.
Here's somebody that just repeated the word fuck like a dozen times.
So beyond being a really fucking shitty way to do this.
Like I'm like you. Maybe I'm going down this, and I'm going to stop and celebrate at the person who's happy about this. And I haven't hit it yet, and I've been scrolling for a long time now.
Fuck this. Just fuck this. Color me surprised. A predestined Bat book has won. What the hell?
Yeah.
Of course, the most boring options will win. Hooray. Hold on. What, bro? What?
Yeah.
God, are you shitting me? What the hell is this? What the fuck?
I finally got somebody that said, let's fucking go Robins. So there you go. After what had to have been about 100 messages, we've got somebody who's more or less excited. But this can't have been the way people. This can't have been what DC thought was going to happen. But then again, if all the attention is over on Instagram, maybe they're not even reading Twitter and don't know and don't care.
Yeah, they're not reading such amazing quote tweets as "Oh, go to hell, boy, fuck you." Can't wait for another boring as hell Bat book. Let
Yes.
Oh, come the fuck on. Fuck off.
There's a lot of fault there. Yeah. It's funny in how absolutely painful this all is. It is yeah. I think summed up best with y'all are going to hell and fuck you. Yes.
Yeah, no, this is how you reach out to the fans. I mean, I get it. Like this is one of those the road to hell is paved in good intentions kind of thing where like it sounded like they probably had some nice meetings and were like, well, if we just vote on DC Community, then that's not fair to. We have so many people that don't go to the site that just go to Instagram. So we should let people vote on Instagram too, right? And we have millions of people on Twitter. There might be people on Twitter that aren't on Instagram and don't check our website, so they should have a vote too. And you just watch as all of that sounds reasonable.
Yeah,
but it isn't.
Do you think, as a creator, and you're obviously a writer of a successful comic book that is a second printing.
Thank you.
That didn't have to go through a tournament in order to get printed.
No.
Is this offensive to creators? Because I see a lot of comments here about, in particular, marginalized creators are being taken advantage of. This seems like a dumb idea. It seems like you could have predicted this outcome.
Yes.
But I guess it doesn't feel like people are starting to accuse DC of intentionally kind of setting up and screwing over creators, in particular marginalized creators.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't go there. I don't agree with that. I think it was a stupid idea. I don't think it was a stupid idea that set people up to fail. What do you think? I mean, I think the whole concept was going to cause people to fail, but I don't think people at DC were like, ha, this is how we get revenge on people. I think it was just dumb.
No, I think it was dumb too. I think it's done in a way where, again, it probably, it's not intentional, but I think there's a disconnect between what is perceived the fans want on social media by the people who are the loudest and most vocal about it, and what people would actually vote for. Because there's a lot of people that probably are on these platforms that I know it's shocking, but there are probably people who love DC and pick up the comics that don't feel like they need to talk about it all the time on social media.
What?
Yeah, right?
What?
There are also people, when you do it this way, who might not actually be fans of the comics, or maybe they're not regular readers, or there shouldn't be any gatekeeping for that either. By the way, if you read just a handful of comics, or you're still a comic reader, if you've only read the Dark Knight Returns year one and stuff like that, you're still a comics reader. I'm not gatekeeping, but when you leave it open like this and anyone can vote, there are people who have no intentions on buying these books. They're like, oh, vote? Sure, I'll vote.
Yeah. No, and people who run their mouths and don't buy anything are tight.
Yeah.
Very. I don't know what to say. I think if you were going, I think there is a meta. I don't know if that's the lesson here. That is. Maybe the very loud comments on social media, maybe the people who are getting lots of retweets, lots of, yes for you, whatever it happens to be, maybe they don't speak for a buying audience. And maybe if you start to because maybe one of the lessons here is that the engagement from Instagram in a day, if it's higher than 7 days worth of Twitter, one result you might pull out of that is that you're more engaged fans. Now, who knows whether, again, these people voting are actually going to buy anything. Maybe these more engaged fans for your company live more on Instagram. And maybe the noise that people make on Twitter does not translate to sales. In which case, all of this is a gigantic waste of time.
Yes.
Okay. What else could be said? All right. Well, this is well, this was an experiment. So if you're a betting man, do you think they do this again next year?
No.
Okay.
I think we have just as good a chance of getting the writers and artist workshops at DC next year as we do another round robin.
Gotcha. Okay. An experiment that maybe goes away.
Yes.
Well, that's too bad. You do want fan engagement, but this maybe wasn't fan engagement. This was some other thing that has gone terribly wrong.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the key takeaway is this went terribly wrong.
All right. Well, my best, good luck to Robinson Suicide Squad. May the best comic win.
Sure.
We'll be looking forward to that. Good. Who was the writer for Suicide Squad? Did we?
I forget. I didn't care about that one, but I'm sure they're great. Nothing against the book. That's almost certainly going to happen anyway because the movie's coming out. But yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. It's what is it? It's the Suicide Squad 7.
Team 7. It's kind of a crossover of that Wildstorm Team 7 book, I think, and maybe-ish. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. Geez, what? The information, you have to click a bit into things to get some of this. It's not in the tweet. I'm going into like DC Community to get the answers, and I still don't easily just have the creative team listed here, which would be nice.
Okay, so our best luck. So Tim Seeley, as you mentioned, doing
okay,
with Vladimir Rivas.
Yeah,
I'm butchering the hell out of the name.
Rex Ogle's doing Suicide Squad 7, and Diogenes Neves is the artist. Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can pronounce names competently. Yes, yeah. Rex Ogle's done Teen Titans and some of the Flashpoint stuff. Tim Seeley, of course, has done a number of Bat books. So, okay, very good writers. I hope the best for both of them, and good luck. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you, and I hope we never have to go through this again.
Beautiful.